What's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking us on out. Much appreciated. Watch the Tobin and Leroy show every weekday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on YouTube. Miami 560 WQAM. I'll put the link there, although my guy Dono is filling in on this Friday. It's a boots on the ground day, heading on down to the arena for a little Heat and Knicks Game 6 action, so looking forward to that. But the Miami Dolphins schedule was released last night. I got to say a couple things. First of all, top-notch schedule release by the Miami Dolphins. Mwah. Love the movie posters. Love the Goosies that they gave you with the movie posters, the theatrics, the guys and the whole crew. Very, very good with the movie release by the Miami Dolphins. They did a great job. Loved everything that they brought to the table there. I would say, the LA Chargers, who obviously we're going to get to in a second, grow up, Peter Pan. All right, you're going to put a picture, you're going to cartoon Mike McDaniel vaping as anime. He wasn't vaping, dude. Okay, like get out of here with your nonsense where you're trying to put our coach with a smoke plume out of here. They can go to hell. And then you had I think the one that I saw that went most viral was the Tennessee Titans release, another Dolphins opponent, and they basically stole a TikTok bit, but it was funny. They basically interviewed people trying to guess logos, and they did a good job there. But I thought the Dolphins top-notch release. Love all the movie posters, and their tweet yesterday was 2023 is going to be a movie, and the schedule is out. So the schedule is out. The Miami Dolphins, we found out they are going to open up their season against the LA Chargers, a 4:25 kickoff week 1, and juicy, right? Like you get to start off right out of the gate, the third matchup between Tua Tagovailoa and Justin Herbert, the 2020 QB classmates get a chance to get a crack at each other once again, and you get to start the season off right. Like this is always going to be forever linked. These guys are always going to be. I mean, no matter what Dolphin fans want to do and how much we're going to bury Justin Herbert for his chokes in the playoffs and all the fodder and the banter back and forth. Whatever you want to say, those two will be linked forever, whether they both become busts or they both become Hall of Famers or one or the other. Those two will always be tied and their careers compared. And I got to say, and a lot of times, sometimes we overblow things in sports. This one makes complete sense. I mean, it does. I am not going to sit here and say I wanted Justin Herbert. I wanted Tua. I was not a Justin Herbert guy. I was always in the camp of taking Tua, even with the hip injury. And I'm happy with it so far. I'm happy with it. Hopefully Tua stays healthy this year, and Justin Herbert and him have a great matchup for this opening game, but it's a juicy opening game. And a couple of things are nice about this. One, last year the Dolphins did that whole West Coast trip, and that didn't go so great for the Dolphins. It was really one of those swings of the season for them where they go and make this trip out west, and they go to play the San Francisco 49ers. They lose that. They stay out there for a Sunday night matchup against the Chargers, and that one also goes awry. Probably one of Tua's worst games of the season. He really didn't play well in that game. This is the third matchup between these guys. 1-1. Tua got them as rookies. Justin Herbert got it last year, so you get this one started off right. Now, there was some confusion. So week 2, Miami Dolphins are taking on the New England Patriots. There was a little confusion with this yesterday because there was this report that Tom Brady is making his return to Foxborough because they're obsessed with him. He didn't thank them, so they need to have him back. And a lot of people thought this was going to be against the Dolphins. The early reports were this was going to be against the Dolphins. It's actually going to be against the Eagles that he's going to make his return to Foxborough. So the Patriots get to start off the season with a couple of Sunday night football games. I'll say a couple things on this. One, a little weird that this is a Sunday night football game. I would think that of all the AFC East matchups, I know it is the Patriots, so Boston always gets a rub there, but I would have thought that, Dolphins Jets or Dolphins Bills would have, playoff matchup from last year. I would have thought that would have been the direction they go, but obviously, I'm sure they're using theirs up a lot for their primetime matchups as well. So I was just a little confused by this. I thought for sure that New England was I didn't think that New England Dolphins was a primetime worthy game out of some of the other matchups that are there for Miami. But it is what it is. Listen, I'm all for the Dolphins kicking Mac Jones's ass on national television. I mean, that to me makes good television. I'm all for it. So that's a delight. Dolphins start off with a couple of road games, different sides across the country, but you, of course, get to have the turnaround of a Sunday nighter and right there in prime time, which is not a surprise. I mean, listen, the Dolphins are the show here. Who the hell wants to watch the Patriots? Let's be honest about it. Then the Dolphins get to have their home debut week 3 hosting the Denver Broncos. I mean, Russell Wilson's a bum, so very excited. The one thing I will say, a couple of takeaways I have. Once again, Dolphins starting 3 of 4 on the road is for their first month, basically. They're on the road, except for that one Denver Broncos game. So the things that pop out right now, I'm saying this in May, so, Leroy, calm down. But I'm just saying, on paper, I feel like the Dolphins' home schedule is kind of soft. And I feel like the Dolphins, once again, need to dominate at home like they did last year. Broncos, Giants, you got a Panthers team that's going to have a rookie QB. You take care of your divisional opponents, of course. Your division's tough, but Titans, Raiders, they don't really have an elite team that is coming to their building other than, I guess you would say, let's just say theorizing, Jets, Bills. Let's say they're good. But we don't know. Who knows if they're good? I think that the Bills are going to be wildly overrated and have a plummet this year. And the Jets, I mean, their quarterback, he's old. He likes ayahuasca. Who knows? But let's just say those two are their toughest. I think just from here look like the toughest. Then you would say probably Cowboys, Giants, Broncos, Panthers, Raiders, Patriots, Titans. These are not from here looking like tough opponents. So I expect the Dolphins, and I think if they're going to have a good season, they need to dominate at home. You got 9 home games this year. So I think 7-2 is what the expectation should be. They were 6-2 last year. I think 2 losses is the most you can afford because, your tougher games are on the road. You got some primetime matchups that are tough this year. You're obviously starting with a lot of road games as well. So I think it's important for the Dolphins to protect their home field. The thing that is noticeable though with this is there's not a lot. It is noticeable how there's not a lot of early home games like there were last year. And you think back to all the bitching and moaning that you had from the divisional opponents with the schedule. And the heat, oh my God, the heat. It's so hot out here. We can't deal with it. So last year everybody was talking about the tough schedule that the Dolphins had last year and what it was going to be, New England, Baltimore, Buffalo, Cincinnati, with New England and Buffalo both being big-time whiners about the weather. Remember, you had the Patriots. They moved down here. They basically finished their training camp down here at Palm Beach Atlantic to try and acclimate to the weather. Didn't work. And then you had Buffalo. I mean, they haven't shut up about the sun still. So I saw one guy on the Bills. I don't know if he's a writer or a radio host or whatever, but he's like, win-win for everybody. Bills get to play the Dolphins last week of the season. Dolphins don't have to deal with the snow. And I'm like, nobody was bitching about the snow down here, dude. We completely acknowledged, and the Dolphins played a good game on the road against Buffalo. Honestly, had opportunities to win that game, but I never once heard a Dolphin fan complain, man, the weather wasn't that great there. Oh, that's only a Buffalo thing, which was only a thing last year. And the thing that I just continue to find hilarious about it is Buffalo whining about the weather. It's like they were on such a roll kicking the Dolphins' ass. They really were the Dolphins' daddies. And the fact that the Dolphins got that first win last year and then they are still belly aching about how hot it is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. So now I guess Russell Wilson is going to be doing squats in a sauna or something, or lunges in a sauna to get himself ready, because that's your only September home game this year. I don't know if that's by design of the owners complaining about it. I don't know what that is, but certainly noticeable that the Dolphins don't get very many home games in what's probably going to be the hottest month of the season, although October can still be pretty brutal. It really can. So we'll see what's up there. Maybe Bill Belichick has to come here for Halloween and get himself all situated with the conditions again. A few more thoughts. I don't want to do a pure that's a win, that's a loss. I'm going to do that on the radio show today. But primetime matchups. Mentioned Sunday Night Football against the Patriots. Sunday Night Football in Philadelphia. Probably the toughest game you're going to have all year, I would say. You know, you got the defending NFC champs in their building. Tua versus Jalen Hurts. So you got a big time matchup there. Prime time. They're gonna be geeked up. So very, very tough game. You have that coming after after a couple of home games against what I think will be softer opponents in New York and Carolina, who aren't bums. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that they're awful teams. I just think that, look, if you're the Dolphins, you have the expectation you do. I really hope that they can take care of their business against those teams. But, yeah, that's a really, really tough one. And then you come back after that, host New England, and then you go out for the old Germany trip, which, you know, this to me was the biggest miss of all of the schedule. I don't understand how they put Dolphins and Chiefs with the Tyreek Hill with the Tyreek Hill connection there. How this game is in Germany is so stupid. It's the biggest whiff on the schedule. 9:30 a.m. for this matchup makes no sense whatsoever. So dumb. I can't believe that they did this. They really, really ruined a great opportunity here. I can't be any more annoyed by this because Tyreek Hill already was talking trash. You have all the Kansas City Chiefs already angry with him and annoyed with him. So I don't know, man. I don't get that one at all. But they're going to Germany to have that game. That's their international game. The good thing is it is technically a road game. So the Dolphins still get their 9 home games, which is cool. And, you get that little edge in the schedule of getting the extra home game. But that sucks. After that, they do have their bye week, so that's good. They get to kind of recharge the batteries for a home return against the Raiders. And then I will say the last couple things that I'll point out. One, you got your Monday Night Football game, your lone primetime Monday Night Football game, which is going to be at home. It's against the Tennessee Titans. So, hilarious schedule release, Titans. Hope the Dolphins kick your ass. We'll see if Tannehill's still there. That's another thing we got to look out for. Will he be in the Will Levis era by the time we get to that game? And, end of the schedule is tough. They get 3 or 4 at home. But you look at it and you got, Jets, Cowboys, Ravens, Bills. And, that, first of all, great opportunity that all of those games are at home. And you really actually get to end 4 out of 5 at home. So that's a nice little benefit. You get to basically be home for the end of your schedule outside of one trip to Baltimore. But love the fact that they're all at home. But that's a tough run after that Titans game on paper. I'm looking at it, and if we assume the Jets are good, if we assume the Bills are going to be pretty decent, Dallas always seemingly has a good record, and Baltimore is going to be a challenge for sure with their revamped weapons. So end of that schedule is a bit of a bear. It honestly, I think, sets up for the Dolphins. It's like last year where it was like, oh, it looked really tough to start, and the Dolphins were able to surprise a lot of people and start off the season 3-0. And, really you lost Tua, and Tua was out, and he comes back, you have the win streak. Such a strange schedule last year. But this year, it again looks like you got some tough adversity early on, but I think as we saw, that can almost set the tone for a season in a really, really good way. So can't wait, man. Goosies galore. Great job by the Dolphins on the schedule release. Can't wait to get to football.